this is a career-denying mistake of Jack Smith to ever get involved in this case. Remember, he tried to jump the appeals court to get to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court pushed it back down. So now his appeal on Trump, if he has immunity, is going through. Okay, that's the backdrop. However, what just got added to the appeal case, I'll explain it to you during the whole episode, and it starts right at the beginning here at a tweet on the Lounge, but I think this busts Jack Smith, a little bit of Merrick Garland, but Jack Smith could lose his job, his entire career right here. If the judges have a head on their shoulders, they will do exactly that. Welcome to Doug in Exile. Let's go. Okay, so first, this tweet, this is from FOIA fan, Freedom of Information Act fan. Cool. Ed Meese's amicus brief has been accepted in the Trump appeal challenge Smith's standing, and the court has directed the parties to be prepared to argue the issues raised by the amici brief, amicus brief. This has been accepted in court, into the appeals court, and now they have to talk about Merrick Garland's fraud appointment of Jack Smith. This document is 40 pages long, so obviously I can't go over it all here. I got some of the big stuff right at the beginning. This oral argument is set for January 9th. That's coming up. United States of America versus Donald Trump, the defendant. This is in the appeal from the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia by Honorable Tanya S. Chutkin, the bum. Brief of former Attorney General Edwin Meese III. So here's from the table of contents of that Ed Meese letter. No statute authorizes the position of special counsel supposedly held by Jack Smith. These are all the questions they're going to start bringing out about his job, about Jack Smith's very own job. And this is just the table of contents I'm going through real quick. Only Congress can create a federal office, not Merrick Garland. The organic statutes of the Department of Justice do not by law vest in the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, of the United States, the power to appoint officers with the power of supposed special counsel Jack Smith. They call him supposed special counsel Jack Smith. From now on, we have a new name for him, right? It's supposed special counsel Jack Smith. There you go. Number two, the Appointments Clause establishes a default rule that all heads of departments, principal officers, and superior officers required presidential nomination, Senate confirmation, and then presidential appointment, all of which Jack Smith dodged. Even if special counsels were statutorily authorized, they would be superior officers who would need presidential nomination and Senate confirmation. Also, Jack Smith dodged and avoided. Alleged special counsel Jack Smith. And then now this is breaking out the argument. Summary of the argument: Jack Smith does not have authority to conduct the underlying prosecution. Those actions can be taken only by persons properly appointed as federal officers to a properly created federal offices. Neither Smith nor the position of special counsel under which he purportedly acts meets those criteria. And that is a serious problem for the American rule of law. Whatever one may think of the defendant, that is Donald Trump, or the conduct at issue, insurrection, immunity, in the underlying prosecution, Jack Smith just stepped in it himself, set a trap, and he fell in his own trap. The illegality addressed in this brief started on November 18th, 2022, when Attorney General and probably criminal Merrick Garland exceeded his statutory and constitutional authority by purporting to appoint Smith to serve as special counsel for the Department of Justice, DOJ. What a hack. He should have known better, right, people? Smith was appointed, quote, to conduct the ongoing investigation, witch hunt, into whether any person or entity, including former President Donald Trump, violated the law in connection with efforts to interfere with the lawful transfer of power following the 2020 presidential election or the certification of the Electoral College vote held on or about January 21. The whole thing was a giant puppet show. Of the attorneys, Attorney General cited as statutory authority for the appointment, but none of those statutes nor any other statutory or constitutional provisions remotely authorize the appointment by the Attorney General of a private goon citizen like Jack Smith to receive extraordinary criminal law enforcement power under the title of special counsel. So he shouldn't even have the ability to send this up to the Supreme Court. They could cut this thing out not only at the knees, they could cut it out at the toes. First, the appointments clause requires that all federal offices not otherwise provided for in the Constitution must be established by law, which hasn't happened, and there is no statute establishing the office of special counsel in Department of Justice. The statutory provisions relied upon by DOJ and the lower courts for the appointment of special counsels over the past half century do not authorize the creation and appointment of special counsels at the level of the United States attorneys, the way that they did with Jack Smith. All that to say, Jack Smith, his butt's in a vice. He could be like the butcher who backed into the meat grinder and got a little behind in his orders. They go slow motion all the way to Trump being president in 2024. I'm Doug in Exile. What do you think will happen?